Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah ma ba'd. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In today's video, we're going to be discussing with you al-Jumla al-Ismiyya. Now, we talked in some of the previous videos about the two different types of Jumla. You have the Jumla al-Ismiyya and the Jumla al-Fe'liyyah. As we said a second ago, we're going to focus today on the Jumla al-Ismiyya and what makes up the Jumla al-Ismiyya. So what do you say we get started? The Jumla al-Ismiyya is made up of two parts. We have what's called the MUBTADA, and we have what's called the KHABR. The MUBTADA is the subject of the sentence, to make it simple. It's the thing that you're talking about. And then we have the KHABR, or the information, or as we call it in English, the predicate. It's that information about the subject that we're talking about. Like, for instance, if we say that the boy is on the couch. The boy is the subject, it's the MUBTADA, and is on the couch is the information that we're trying to give out about the boy. And this is how the MUBTADA and the KHABR works. So now we know that these are the two parts of the Jumla al-Ismiyya, or the two fundamental parts of the Jumla al-Ismiyya. We want to talk about what can be a MUBTADA and what can be a KHABR. Now we're going to talk about the MUBTADA. And we're going to start there because this is the beginning of the sentence, first and foremost. And second of all, it's the easiest to explain to you. The MUBTADA we're going to find is going to be MUFRAD. Now what does this mean? Many of us are used to hearing the word MUFRAD, meaning that it is singular. But here in this context, when we say it's MUFRAD, we're saying that it's not a Jumlah and it's not a Jumlah. It's something by itself, which means it can be singular, it can be dual, as well as it can be the jam', or it can be the plural. Like, for instance, in the sentence, at-talib mujtahid. At-talib here is mufrad. It's singular, but it's also something by itself. And mujtahid is the khabar. It's the thing that we are trying to, or the information that we're trying to give about the talib. But we can also say at-talibani mujtahidani. The two students are hardworking, mujtahidan. So we see here the Taliban here. This is talking about two students. It's also considered to be mufrad because it's not a jumla and it's not a shibh-jumla. We also have at-tulab. At-tulab is considered to be mufrad in the sense that it's not a jumla or shibh-jumla, even though it is plural. At-tulab mujtahidun. So you see in all three of these cases, whether it's the singular, the dual, or the plural, it's all considered to be mufrad in the sense that it is not a jumla and it's not a shibh-jumla. Now, like we said, the khabar is a little bit more difficult. We saw that the mubtada is going to be mufrad. And the khabar as well can be mufrad, in the sense, again, that it is not a jumla and it's not a shibh-jumla. It can also be a jumla, and it could also be a shibh-jumla. And we're going to take each of these separately. Now, when we talk about al-mufrad, these are just like those sentences we talked about when we talked about al-mubtada. At-talib mujtahid. Mujtahid there is what's considered to be mufrad because of the fact that it's not a jumla or shibh-jumla. It's the information about at-talib, just like at-talibani mujtahidani. Mujtahidan is the khabar for the word taliban. The two students are hardworking. And then you also have at-tulab al-mujtahidun. Al-mujtahidun is the khabar for the word tulab. And again, it is mufrad for the same reasons the other two words are mufrad, because they are not a jumla or a shibh jumla. Inshallah, that's pretty clear. Now, when we talk about the fact that a khabr can be a jumla, we already discussed that a jumla is only going to be one of two types. It's either going to be a jumla al-ismiyya or a jumla al-fi'liyyah. And an example of the khabr being a jumla al-ismiyya. Now the example up here on the screen of when the khabr is al-jumla al-ismiyya is that sentence here, Mahmud ibnuhu najihun. Mahmud here is the mubtada. As you know, we're talking about Mahmud. And the information about Mahmud is a jumla in itself. It's a mubtada and a khabar. Ibnuhu najih, meaning Ibnu Mahmud passed, or he's successful. He took a test and he passed his test. So we're saying the son of Mahmud passed his test. The son of Mahmud passed his test is a jumla, and it's the khabar about what? It's the khabar about Mahmud. We're saying Mahmud, his son passed the test. This is what the sentence itself means. And it can also be a jumla al-fi'liyyah. The khabar can also be the verbal sentence, like the sentence on the screen, Mahmud akal at-ta'am. Akal at-ta'am is a jumla al-fi'liyyah. It fits the requirements that we talked about earlier that are set for the jumla al-fi'liyyah. But in itself, even though it's a jumla, it is a khabar for Mahmud. We're talking about Mahmud. What are we saying about Mahmud? We're saying that he ate the food. That's the information that we're giving about Mahmud. As well, the khabar can be a shibh jumla. Now this is saying that either it's going to be a dharf or a jar wa majroor. Like for instance, when you say as-sayyara, you see here it says as-sayyara amam al-bayt. Amam is a dharf. This is going to take the place, or this actually is going to be the khabar. The mubtada is as-sayyara. What about the sayyara? It is amam al-bayt. It is in front of the house. And the same thing with this jar wa majroor, at-talib fil fasl. Talib is the mubtada. And what are we trying to say about the talib? That he is fil fasl. That he is in the classroom. So we see here in this first sentence, amam is the khabar. We're saying that the sayyara is in front of the house. Whereas in the second sentence where the khabar is a jar wa majroor, then we see here that we're talking about the fact that the talib is where he is fil fasl. The whole of the jar wa majroor is the khabar. And I'm sure that shed a little light on everything for you. And we will meet up with you again in the next video. Jazakumullahu khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.